those of you who are rooting for France for the World Cup, you have my condolences. We had tears in the house. I was at work, but we had some very sad people. But I have to say, Spain deserved it. They just were outperforming, and you've heard me say a million times, they're all elite athletes at this point, and may the best team win. So apparently now we're supposed to be rooting for England so Argentina doesn't go to the finals. I don't know. It's going to be a good game regardless. I'll be at work. So I'll only be catching up what MSN updates me on the bottom corner of my laptop. Anyway, I am here for my midweek month ahead. And here I put a little bit of money each week toward my month ahead. I have combined some envelopes just because I have more than 12 categories and I have 12 envelopes here. So every week I have $50. So the last two get $5 so that it shakes out properly since I have 12 envelopes. So I do that because I always forget. But I'm going to get some larger ones just in case. So the reason I use prop bills is because digitally I transfer $50 a month to my month ahead in my high yield savings account. I don't want the money sitting in here. It just didn't make sense for me to pull out the cash for it to sit here, for me to then deposit it for it to make interest. So it's going every week, $50, and it's making interest as it's there. So for me, physically touching and placing the money in envelopes is what keeps me motivated and sees me physically reach my goals. And for that reason, I decided to use prop coins in order to save in this binder. So each category is going to get $4 until we can mark off the next spot on the challenge. I am using Little Potato Savers trackers. And I just reminded myself I did not print a new one for pets. So we only have $7, which means we cannot cross one off. We will have to wait until next week. I do use these little trackers. So there's 3, and I think we finished it just as a visual of me saving. So these are double-sided envelopes. So what's already saved goes here, and the rest goes in the front as my reminder for next week. So it's exceptionally hot here in Antarctica this week. Today, I don't even know what the heat index was, a gazillion degrees. Luckily, I was at work and I didn't really need to worry about it too much except when I had to leave the building. So we're going to mark off 4 here. It's 200 in here. And I currently have 16. So it looks like what I do is I just condense as I go. I'm not sure. I have to make a tracker. Clearly it's not on my to-do list and I keep forgetting to put it on. Okay, sell. It's gonna get 4. Looks like we don't have any rolled over from last week. So we can't mark that off. We can mark off 4 on here. And that will just roll over. So as we have enough, it gets marked off on the tracker and moved to the second pocket. For medical, we're working toward $200. And we can cross one off when we get to 10, which is what we have. So I'm going to put these back. Take a 10. And then I can mark off 2 here. And 1 here. Now that I just wrote on myself. So little by little, we save. And that's what's important for my motivation. I'm not a really good long-term saver in terms of my challenges. Like I just feel like I have to make progress. I have to see the results. And so this helps me do that. So we need 17 to mark off 1 month ahead on insurance. And we do not have enough. So this will roll over. Mark off to here. Little by little, it all adds up. And that's the one thing I need to remind myself when I feel like, oh, I just want to get it done. Because I don't always have money to just get it done, right? I mean, we budget for a reason. Saying all of this, whatever you are doing to work toward your goals, continue doing. I'm going to trade these back. 11. Whether you're putting away quarters, dimes, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you are slowly letting it add up and you're saving, not spending. And for me, in particular, I need to physically see it saved. And I have to withdraw it from my checking account so that I can't use it. Because if it's sitting there, I might say, oh, okay, we can get takeout. But if I take it out and I put it in my sinking funds, there's no option. It's not there. It's not there to spend, basically. Okay, so I can put these back for a 50. Next one, we have car and tolls. So we're going to put 4 in. This divider just tells me everything behind this is $500 or more. So we need 24. And we have 6. So we can't fill anything in right now. I can mark off 2 here. Saving trackers, keep it fun. You could do this without a saving tracker. You can do this with, like I said, quarters, dimes, prop coins, prop money, however you want. You can do it digitally and not put any prop, anything, as long as you are attempting to save. There's also different apps that you can use to save your change. Like when you use your debit card, I used to do that. The app had an issue. I haven't done it since. But there's multiple different apps. Gas is 26. Do we have 26? We do. So I have to trade one of those 2s for 2 1s. And you'll be surprised. That stacks up fast as well if you're using to roll up your change every time you use your debit card. Yay, so we have 2 on here finished. And we'll put 2 here. Oh, this is $1 each. All of the inserts, everything Figment you see in this binder is from North Country Cash Queen. You can find her on Etsy, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I love Figment. I have loved Figment since I was little. Let's see if I can condense any of this. I can. 30, 50. Just trying to keep this condensed because paper is thick. And it fattens up the binder when I have a ton of prop coins not condensed. So groceries, I need 50. So far I have 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 23 toward our 50. Mark 2 more here. I go back and forth if I'm going to use trackers, but every week I use the trackers. So I probably could not use the trackers and make my video a little faster. It's something I got to think about. And then here we have our credit card month ahead. So we're going to add 2 more. So now we have 18. And we'll mark off a 3 and a 1. It's going to take us a little bit to get to these higher ones. And because I don't have ones, I'm just going to leave the twos. Next week, I'll change it to a 10 or 20. So I have 5 going into here. So basically how this works is once I complete the lowest, now again, some of these have more than one tracker, some don't. Once I complete one, it rolls to the next one. So that eventually, when I finish emergency, pets is getting 8. When I finish pets, cell gets 12, and so on. When I finish cell, medical gets 16 each week. So that it snowballs into the next one, so that eventually the lowest one is getting more each week to complete faster. But the highest ones are in the back because they will take the longest to complete. So in my utility, I do have these broken up. So water is $5. So basically we can cross a water off every week. And I can condense 2 5s to a 10. We are pretty much going to carry these ones over until something snowballs, because sometimes when I do my month end, I can randomize and it may have more. And it has that 3 carrying over because right now I just need 5. So here's 2, 4.5 makes 5. And last we have household and subscriptions. Again, this is a few categories. So the first one we're tackling is subscriptions, which needs 10. Again, we are going to mark one off every other week, and we have $3 that just gets rolled over. So I'll trade this for 10. This will go in my second pocket, which I can condense to a 50. And that'll go in the back. That way it just keeps it a little bit condensed so it's not as thick. Paper is heavy and thick. And then we can do half, and this one is finished. And we'll keep working toward our subscriptions first, and then after we have household. So that is it for our midweek month ahead, but there's more because we are doing Christmas in July. So let me just pack this up. Christmas in July. I do a roll and save for every day. So it's calculated in advance. Today is the 15th. We are going to save $8. I should already have it here. Whoa. I do. So that's going to go into the bank. And I have $8 in prop coins. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d6. If it's even, it gets 2. If it's odd, it gets 1. And we will go around my envelopes. All of the inserts, the prop coins, the roll and save, the bank insert, the extras, set that you may find on my coffee shop or Etsy. My bow is by Izzy Budgets, and I will have her tagged below. So I'm just going to shuffle up my prop coins. So I like to be able to shuffle like a deck. I make mine a little bit bigger so I can do that. I'll split the deck and we'll go from here. We're starting with number 1. So I hope you are all doing well in whatever you are saving for this month. I am curious how you save for Christmas. I will say I have a little bit off my shoulders knowing that I have been saving a little bit each week all year. I can't tell you enough that having, maybe because I'm a visual learner, I have no idea. I know I am a visual learner, but I don't know why the system is working more than me putting it in a savings account or in a safe even. I think it's because it's in a binder. I physically feel it, touch it, save it. Wait, is that a song? I'm hearing Missy Elliott. I'll see if I can find it when I have it. But it's helping me save. And I say no when it's not in my wallet because I give myself a certain amount of money each week for certain categories, and that's it. So we're starting on 7 next time. I did downsize this, so I believe I only have 8 envelopes now. Yes, so we're gonna stick with 8. 12 was a little much. I felt like I needed to complete quicker. So number 1 is getting $1.50. Again, you'll hear me say it 6 million times. I've got commitment issues with long-term saving challenges. In fact, I was talking to a budget bestie the other day, and she said to me, because I was looking at the Monopoly, and I said, well, that looks so fun, but like, I just can't do this long-term. And she said, why don't you have a saving challenge you don't film? And I said, you know what? Maybe I'm going to try that. So we have $1.50 going into Aries Journey SA. Looks like we have $1 to finish all of hers. And I think having 8 envelopes will help me get through them a little bit quicker. So we have $1.25 going into I Will Always Save, and she or he only needs 1 more. So we are going to have 50 cents roll over. So that is a completed challenge for $8. Oh man, I don't have any 5s. There's $8 from the bank. I'm also thinking about closeout. I think I'm going to have to do Christmas savings from Christmas in July separate from closeout. Like, I'm going to have to separate them because there's going to be a lot more. And let me grab, well, I'll do that after. Okay, we have $1 going into our number 3 spot, which is the Blessed Budget. These are pretty big savers. When we're finished, we will have $12. In our number 4 spot, we have $1.50. And this is Glitzy Digital Designs for $1.50. This is the last of her 4 challenges. And because we completed challenges by 2 creators, we're going to save $2. And I fill in this tracker by North Country Cash Queen. And we need to fill in $2. If I don't have enough money, or what I should say is, say I'm out of ones and I only have $1 that week, I have an envelope behind Dawn's where it can be the storage, the holding place for the money to roll into summer. So I'm going to try to put this in here without it touching the envelope in front before it's dry, because it'll get a marker on it. Great. We have tomorrow done, and I'm going to set up for a few days because I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow or not. So I let you all decide how I should do this. So basically my roll and save, I have 6 different color dots here. So I have a D5, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 20. So I roll 2 color dot die that I'm going to add together, along with a 5, 6. I have 2 color dot. I have a 5, a 6, an 8, 10, 12, and 20. So that, then I'm going to decide the 17th. So we're going to be a few ahead. Let's do 3. We're going to do 17, 18, and 19. Okay. So the dice get added together based on what the color dot is. So we have a blue, which is a D8 and a D10. So the D10 is a 10, and the D8 is a 5. So 15. For the 18th, and this helps me prep ahead to know how much money I'm going to need to bring to my Christmas in July that week or that day. So we have a purple and a blue, which is a D6, which is 4, and a D8, which is 8, so that's going to be 12. We have a yellow, which is a D5, which is a, where are you? A 1. And a purple D6 is a 5, so we have 6 on the 19th. And that will get us through the next few days. I thank you for hanging out and being here. I appreciate you and your time. I know you can choose where to spend your time, and I thank you for spending it here, helping me stay accountable with my budget. Please let me know what you're saving for below so I can stop by your page if you have one and give you some support. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.